Hello, and welcome to our episode 50 of Vox Jed Fight About It. This is the final episode of the first year of Vox Jed Fight About It, and today we are talking about hypotheticals. It is a very interesting day today, but we are going to record it nonetheless. How are you doing today, Vox?
I'm doing great, Jed. I am just doing fucking peachy, because
yeah,
I've been building up. I've been building up to this yonder episode 50 for a number of episodes, a number of weeks, and I've been assembling the perfect, most immaculate, ideal list of hypotheticals possible going into episode 50, and you won't believe what happened. They're gone. They're all gone, man. It's erased itself. The notepad document has left us. But I have a secondary set of hypotheticals that are they're pretty good. And that'll get me through the episode just fine. They are that. Yeah. They are pretty good. All right. Speaking of pretty good, how are you doing, Jed? How are you doing? Going into our beautiful little episode 50 here. What do you mean?
I'm hanging in. I'm still under the weather. But
yeah.
I'm hanging in. And when it comes to the show, at least, I'm doing really well. Because my topics list didn't get deleted. I, in fact, have 5 hypotheticals that I made up the first time and didn't need to rewrite them. However, that first time was, earlier today. So,
ooh, well, aren't you unique? Aren't you special? Damn it. At least some of us bothered to prepare ahead and then lost it and then had to come up with a last-minute solution anyway. You bastard.
See, the true fool is the man who preps and then doesn't need the prep and wasted the prep time. I have no clue where I'm going with this bit. Oh man,
the man who leaves
I can't
remember yet goes unfucked. You're right. But speaking of butts, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So you had proposed this hypothetical idea to me on one of the episodes. I think it was about 5 episodes ago, give or take.
5 episodes ago? Oh, right, on the show. The first time I mentioned it on the show was 5 episodes ago. I threw down the gauntlet. You're right, I did.
Yeah. And so I've come prepared.
Story boy. There you go.
With 5 different hypotheticals, and you have done the same. And we each have chosen a side of a hypothetical. And then we are to propose it to you and attempt the other person to convince them to get to your side of the hypothetical, correct? Is that how I'm understanding this?
Yes, we've each come with 5 hypotheticals,
Excellent.
Each of which we've taken a side on personally. The objective of the game, from one's perspective, is to get the other onto your side of the hypothetical, whether they're there at the beginning or not. So,
okay.
That's the game, basically. It's very simple, and it would be very easy to cheat at, but we are men with the honor system, so surely we'll be alright.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll turn out alright. I didn't think all that hard about how to, cheat-proof this. But, do you want to get us started, Jed? Should you get us started
I can roll us into a hypothetical.
Because I'm actually feeling kind of hungry for a hypothetical right about now. I don't know how much of the episode... Quick disclaimer, I don't know how much of the episode this hypotheticals thing is going to take up. This is sort of just the theme of the episode until it's over, and then we'll just get on with a normal fight about it like usual, just to give you a little flavor of where we're at with being able to do this show going into year 2. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk a little more about our plans for year 2 at the end of the show. Stick around for that.
To make sure you stick around for the end. We have some exciting announcements. But
anyway,
you've
got your exciting hypothetical. Run me through it.
Yeah. Let's go for one that is fun. So, you have 2 options in this hypothetical. A genie has presented you with 2 options, and you can only pick these 2 options. You can either choose...
Genie, but alright.
Yeah, he's a dickhead, too.
Okay.
You can have the ability to create any food you want at any time, but it is always the incorrect temperature. Whether it be, a cold food that is hot now when you create it, or a hot food that is cold when you create it, or you are never hungry again, but you also can never eat. So you miss out on food opportunities. So you either have to, like, have any food you want, but then you still have to make it, kind of. So it's like, what's the point? Or never eat again. So
I think I'd have to go with the first one. There's no way I'm taking never eat again. There's just no way you
Really?
could ever convince me of I'm just not gonna eat ever again, you know? I don't
I'd
think you can
gladly
get
never
me in
eat
on that
again.
one. Would you? I don't think I could ever go without eating, dude. Eating is so good. Eating is such like an awesome sensory experience, dog.
But then, like, the issue is that, yeah, you have the convenience of creating food, but then you have to, like, you still have to do something about it, is the issue. You still have to,
Well,
like,
yeah,
put it in the
but, like,
microwave.
That's still an up. That's like still a plus, dude. Is like I'm still getting free food here, even if it's like not the desired temperature. I'm never that
Yeah,
far from
but
a kitchen that I can't just reheat it real quick, whatever it is, or wait for it to cool off.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Like the only
But
thing that
like
really
ice
affects is foods
cream.
that are like ruined. Yeah, like an ice cream would be
Yeah.
ruined under these scenarios. But like, I just
Or like a
don't
burger,
ask
you're
for
gonna
an ice
microwave a
cream. I don't.
burger.
I'll microwave a burger. I've microwaved a burger before. I'm not above that.
But all of the burgers you're gonna eat for the rest of your life, even if you, like, create the, like, gourmet burger of all
Not
time.
all of them, not all of them. Just the ones that are like generated through this genie bullshit, right? Wasn't that the
Yeah, but
hypothetical?
yeah, but I guess I wouldn't ever go get any food if I could just make any food I wanted. So I guess I didn't consider that you could just go to McDonald's.
I could still just go to McDonald's like a normal guy. Yeah, I don't have to eat like shitty like cold burger if I don't want shitty cold burger right now. It's just like this is just the ultimate like it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'd like a burger ability, dude. Like, hello genie, present me with like an order of sliders from White Castle, please. Oh, what's that? They're cold? Excellent. You know? Not a problem whatsoever.
So here's an evolution on top of it. Then
Okay,
it's always
alright. Evolve.
the
See if
wrong
you can
temperature.
evolve.
No matter what you do to it, you could put it in the fridge and it's still gonna be hot ice cream. So you have to eat cold burgers. Like, you can only make cold burgers.
I think I would still, like, take that. I think I could adapt to enough foods at the wrong temperature that, like, I could find some pretty interesting combos all around. I think I
suppose
could pretty
so.
generally figure it out. It's like, I don't
But,
know,
like,
you're still able to, like, summon matter. So, like,
Yeah.
you know. I mean,
I
granted, it's
suppose
food,
so.
but still. And then there's foods like crackers and stuff that it's like, yeah, these crackers are like uncomfortably warm.
They're hot.
But like, what does that really mean for my cracker eating experience generally? You know?
I guess so,
I don't see it really. I don't see it being that
Generally
much of an issue.
warm
I think I'm
crackers.
still over there. Were you trying to
Yeah.
get me to the I'm never gonna eat again side of things? Is that what you're saying?
It's a good life to live, man. You never have to eat. You always maintain the correct weight. You just also can't eat. But that also means you never vomit. Assumedly, your stomach biome is fine. So, like, you would never have any indigestion again. You never have to, like, go to the bathroom again, dude. There's a lot of pros to this, man.
No, I see where you're coming from, but food good.
Is cold
for,
burger
like,
worth it?
Cold burger is worth it because there's no additional downside other than cold burger, man. I'm too resilient for that to be the only downside here.
I think the issue with this is that I can't stand cold food. Like, certain cold food is just not worth it to me. I'd just rather not eat it at that point. Burgers specifically are that one where it's like burgers either stay room temperature, but if they ever get cold, they're like inedible.
No, I
Because
see
when you
what you mean, 'cause,
microwave
like,
it, the bun
sometimes-
gets
Sometimes you like become a little too aware that this is ground beef, you know? Like,
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
it's like
exactly.
a little too obvious. The like textures of what you're eating are too prevalent, you know? That makes
guess
sense.
the
that makes
other-
sense.
The other underlying thing about it is that where the fuck did that food come from? Like, you summoned food out of midair. Do you really want to eat the summoned fries, you know? I don't know where those fries were cooked.
I hadn't even once considered that they had to be from somewhere. I just assumed these were just like foods that had been just magicked up. I guess that's
I guess
not
you don't really know.
I had ever considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't. And even if you did ask, like, would you want to? Really?
Would you want to know? Yeah.
Would you want to know where that shit's been coming from?
Is there some like grimy ass warehouse that holds every burger you could possibly make? I don't know.
Burger warehouse, dude.
Burger warehouse, where burger.
Warehouse.
So you're
where burger.
So I didn't convince you over to my point, so I guess I lose this hypothetical.
I guess you lose this one. I suppose this one's you have to like.
I knew it would be hard to convince you.
Say. Yeah, no, I figured you would. That's why I was so baffled that was the stance you chose to take.
Yeah.
But all right.
I don't know.
Right.
I think it's a real big upside to never having to eat again. But
I think
what
that's like a huge downside. My first hypothetical is you get a quick cool million, but you have to walk in a straight line around the world on foot to get it. You may use boats to get across oceans, but you must be on a treadmill walking for the full ride. If you step off the treadmill, boat's not moving.
I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that?
I don't care what amount of money, brother. I'm not walking.
You can take breaks. You're allowed a break. It's just you gotta do all the steps.
Oh, man. $1 million? You said $1 million?
Just $1 million. Just a quick $1 million.
Is it in cash or is it in my bank account?
It can be wherever you want it to be for this to be a convenient thing for you. Okay, so I don't need to launder it? No. This is completely legally earned. Some, like, rich asshole somewhere just, like, is holding a walk around the world idiot competition.
This is a Mr. Beast competition.
Yeah, this is what this is, basically. And I don't know, man. I think it's an interesting enough concept.
Would you do it?
I would try it.
How much time do you
lose
have?
Nothing. What do you mean, how much time do you have? I don't know.
Forever?
How much time does it take a person to do that?
Yeah, I guess fair enough, but I mean, like, is there, like, could I just spend the rest of my life and it's like, yeah, I walked 2 cities over for 2 days?
I went from, like, Kansas City, Kansas to Kansas City, the other side. I forget what state it borders. I think it's, like, Oklahoma, isn't it? Can I try and save myself by guessing that it's Oklahoma?
No, I don't think so. Not it might be on its southern border, but I have no clue. I have no clue on geography.
Geology? Wow.
Shut
okay,
the
well,
fuck
you
up.
saved me.
You
saved me single-handedly. Thank you, Jesus Christ. But no, you're not taking that. You're not going for the walk around the world.
Are you?
The little Daft Punk. I would do it. I don't know.
Man, that's a. I don't know if you know this. The world is a big place. That's a lot
but like
to walk.
you're taking breaks. You know, you're taking appropriate breaks to not like kill yourself doing it. You know, I feel like it could be a fun time.
Well, here, let me see. How many miles around is the circumference of the Earth? Because I think
Let's get into some math here. Let's get into some math. You do some googling.
Circumference of the Earth.
Really get some time out of this question, yeah.
25,000 miles. That is 25,000 miles.
I can do a mile in 12 minutes. What does that mean?
A mile in 12. You're gonna fucking book it? 12-minute mile across the whole world? You want that?
I'm on a 12-minute mile the whole way. Yep, the whole time. Just smooth shot. I'm coming for it.
I don't know, man. Like, if you run that down to 10, then you could get 6 miles in an hour.
Dude, I couldn't do a 10-minute mile. Are you fucking crazy? No.
Right. I didn't consider this fact. You
hadn't factored in the concept that I couldn't do a 10-minute mile, but I could do a 12.
15-minute mile, then, would leave you with fucking 4 miles a day, and then let's say you move
Mr. Loiter Legs over here, just fucking sitting around.
By God, minutes? Let me grab the calculator.
Yeah, grab your calculator.
Times.
Go ahead.
Or no, it's
You weren't
12
already using a calculator for this?
divided by 60. I didn't need it prior because I was rounding. But if you're gonna be a fucking stickler,
I'm not being a stickler. I'm just very
0.2.
proud of my
So
12-minute mile, alright? I did that when I was like 13, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't do it now. But I'm gonna, like, I did it last time, so I'll own it. Yeah. Nobody's
0.2
checked
times
me on
60.
how quick I could do a mile now, so I'm just running with that.
Yeah, so that's 12 miles an hour. You're moving at a pace of 12 miles an hour, my friend.
12 miles an hour.
For, let's say, 8 hours a day. That's going to be 96 miles a day. So then that's 96 divided by 25,000 miles. I did it reverse. I'm so dumb. I did it fucking...
Well, I'm glad this isn't Vox and Jed math about it, dude. Fuck it, I'm real happy about that.
At this.
I'm real happy
96.
about that. But no, we'll sit here and figure it out. Now I want to. Now I'm curious. It would take you a year if you were running
days.
if you were running at 12 miles an hour.
It would take you a year, given 40. Oh no, I'm dumb. No, it's only 260, so it's a little. It's a third of a. It's 2/3 of a year, 3/4 of a year or something.
Well, fuck yeah, no, I'd go do that. 3/4 of my year, and like I get to see the whole world in a straight line. Who could say they've done that? You know?
Yeah,
that's cool
but
as
also,
hell.
Like, if you start at where you're starting in, like, the part of the U.S. that you're in, you're just gonna kind of go like loop around and then go
I
into,
assume
like,
you'd
the
have like
worst
the
parts of
ideal
Australia.
line picked out. You'd have like the ideal line picked out ahead of time, as to like this one is the most sightly to see. You know.
That does kind of change it a little bit for me, though. Is that if I can pick where it goes, I guess if I could find some perfect line that would hit, like, Japan and France and a couple of other places, maybe I'd do it, but I really don't think I would. $1 million is not worth,
What do you mean not
life.
worth? It's not worth a year of your life, including the experience of it?
Like, 80, like, you say seeing the sights and everything, 90% of it is gonna be like barren ocean. You're gonna be experiencing ocean. I don't know if floating through the ocean at 12 miles an hour on a dinghy is what I would consider cool.
I bet it'd be neat.
It would be neat. It would be pretty neat.
And I bet that's what a lot of the travel would be, is a lot of like, this is neat. You know, when else would I have ever done this specifically? You know?
Do you have food for it? Are you guaranteed, like, comfort for the trip?
Your expenses are covered. Your expenses are covered.
Okay.
You're good. Hypothetically.
And, like...
It's like, what would be the point
will you ever
of
be
like,
at
getting
risk?
the million at the end? Will you ever be... Yeah, you'll be at risk, I suppose, at some point.
Like, I guess what I mean is, like...
straight line around the fucking planet, dude.
Do you have, like, medical team on standby? Like, if you get eaten by attacked by a bear, are you fucked?
I assume so. Yeah, it's reality show rules. We're working on reality show rules where we assume there's like a medical crew ready and shit if anything happens here. I thought that went without saying for this particular hypothetical. My bad.
I didn't think about it. I didn't think about that going for it.
Shit in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
no, does that change it for you at all, then? Because I just don't see any reason not to, at this point.
Yeah, no, I don't think it does. I really hate walking. You really underestimate how much I despise walking.
God damn, I can't believe it. We both came in here with things that we thought were just going to be clean shooters, and both times we just, like, we've hit a nerve with each other. We've hit a nerve with each other on it. All right, you got
just
another
like
one?
managing to find weird ones. Yeah, I've got another
We're
one.
0-0 right now. A couple of goose eggs. Let's see it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
We're in Goose Egg City. All right. So this one is a little bit weird, but
okay. Go ahead.
You are given a gorgeous mansion in the hills, 10 bedrooms,
in the hills, dude.
15,000 bathrooms. Yeah, not
what?
really.
I don't need
whatever.
that many, dude.
Some imaginary awesome mansion. It's got a swimming pool. It's got infinite Wi-Fi. It's got a fucking printer that makes food. Yada yada yada. Whatever. Who cares?
Holy shit.
It's a cool thing. But
the setup.
When you walk in the front door, there's a foyer, and it's a 20-foot by 20-foot room, and permanently there is an old man living in your foyer, sleeping in a sleeping bag. He snores. He doesn't talk to you. He refuses to move, but stares at you every time you walk through. So anytime you bring your friends over, you have to explain to them that, yes, there's a bizarre old man in my foyer. Don't bother with him. So, would you take the mansion if you had to walk past the, like, bizarre old man living in your home every time? And he has access to the rest of your house, too. He just chooses to stay in the foyer.
Okay. Alright, I can't process why you sound so happy about this one. You just seem so...
It's so stupid! This is the first one I came up with, and it was so dumb that I had to keep it. It was so good.
Where do you get off doing this? Because yes, I am taking the house, by the way. That is a given, I think, in this case.
I wouldn't.
But, like, you just seem so enjoyed by him. Like, you seem like you really like this guy that you've created. This, like, foyer, like, squatter dude.
That's the issue, is that, like, I was like, I don't know, what would be something that I wouldn't want to have? Like, if I got a free house, I wouldn't have it if, like, someone was living in it. Yeah. Alright. And then I made up this old man in my head that, like, is, like, a curmudgeon-y old man who, like, typical movie homeless guy sleeping in a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Not saying a word, just responding with, like, in, like, the corner. And I ended up growing to like him over the course of, like, the few hours that I had him in my brain.
Oh my god,
I still wouldn't
so
do
you
it.
Just, like, built this character. Oh, but you still wouldn't take him, though. Why not?
No, because... Again, you have to, like, every time you go in or out of your house, you have to, like, greet past him, you know, and he knows exactly where you are, and he could have access to anything that you have, or any of your friends. And how the fuck are you supposed to explain that to your friends about the, like, cool-ass, free-ass mansion you got? How do you explain that?
What, the guy who lives in the main room? I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know how you explain that, but it's not even that bad, honestly, because it's just a foyer. You can just, like, there is the rest of the house, dude. Just don't exist with him. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know, but you still have to walk past him. You wouldn't get a little bit aggravated about the guy in your house 24/7?
I don't think so. I think he would grow endearing to me. You didn't get mad about him living in your brain for a few hours while you did these hypotheticals.
Well, yeah.
I think I would slowly become endeared to him. I think he would become my friend with time. I could tame him.
He doesn't talk, dude. Anytime you interact with him, he responds with a...
Yeah, I can work with that.
Like,
I've met less sociable people. I've met people with worse social skills than that. I can manage just fine. Don't you worry.
I don't know. I think it's mostly because, like, again, you're bringing your friends over. What the fuck are you supposed to say to them? You know?
Well, I don't know, man. Like, you keep coming back to this, your friends, and explaining it to them thing. You just explained it. You just spent, like, 2-3 minutes explaining this guy to me over and over, and then going, well, how would you even explain him? How would you even explain that this is the situation you're in? And it's like, dude, you're explaining it to me. I'm getting it. Right now, I'm with you.
But
in real life, I see how that's a little weird. Yeah, if there were an old man, it would be weird, I suppose. Is the takeaway, is that if there were an old man, he probably would be strange.
This hypothetical sucked ass.
this one kind of fell on its face. Alright, so what were you trying to convince me of? To not take the house? Is that the come away here?
I've been desperately trying to get you to not take a mansion. I chose the losing side on this one.
You know what? Fine, you can have it. I don't even want the mansion. Take it. I'm with you. Fuck the old man. I don't even want him. I don't want him or his mansion, dude. I want nothing to do with him. Somebody's got to get a point at some point today, and I guess it'll be you. Oh, man. Okay, so here's a good one. Here's a good one. This one's got a caveat. So, you need to survive. Keyword being survive. 3 rounds in the ring with an exotic animal of your choosing. After surviving these 3 rounds, you will have earned its respect and tamed it as your companion. What animal, Jed? Would you do this, and what animal?
What counts as exotic?
I don't know. You know what you would classify as an exotic animal in your head. I'm not putting a label directly on it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go for like not typically something you would have tamed.
Like I just meant exotic as in like, well, let's rule out the idea of like, oh yeah, fucking house cat. You know?
Yeah, of course. Does the age matter?
The age of the animal?
Yeah. Because can I just fight like a baby grizzly bear and then I just have like a full grown grizzly bear once he grows up? All I had to do is kick the shit out of a cub?
Gotta be its prime. Gotta be the prime animal.
Prime. Oh, the prime of its
specimen
species?
of its animal. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Not just the apex, like, I'm not talking the apex grizzly bear here. I'm just talking like, yeah, here's about as good as a grizzly bear would be. Here's like a solid, like, an average grizzly bear's prime, not like grizzly bear prime, the ultimate warrior of grizzly bears or some shit, dude.
I was thinking about some fucking
you
baller
were headed
ass
somewhere crazy, dude, with the grizzly bear shit. Anyway,
I don't know. I might be able to fight a black bear. What counts as winning? Just like
surviving,
submission?
just like 3-minute rounds, you know, the standard for like a boxing thing, and then you do 3 of them, and then you're good. So 9 minutes of basically giving this guy the runaround or some shit at the very least.
Oh, okay. Well, if I don't have to fight back, and if I don't have to like beat it, it's really just what I think I could survive for 10 minutes.
Yeah, what is your, like, I could survive well enough for 10 minutes to ensure that I live for 10 minutes, you know?
And it's any animal I want. A whale shark. I could survive 10 minutes away from a whale shark. Just get out of the water. And then I get to have a whale shark.
You gotta be in the ring with this thing, man. How are you gonna be in the ring at the same time as a whale shark? Not enough room to occupy.
Yeah, I guess I didn't consider the scale of the ring.
Also, what is like having a whale shark as a companion after the fact entail for you in this branch of this hypothetical?
You wouldn't want a whale shark?
Not particularly. It's just like, where would you take him? What would you do with him?
To the ocean and hang out with him, assumedly? I don't know.
What would you be doing with a whale shark, man? I just don't know what that would entail, really.
You could be the one guy in the world who's like, yeah, I've got a whale shark and he's my friend. You know?
I guess you could. I see no reason not to be the whale shark's friend, but the point still remains about fighting it. Court adjourned.
Yeah.
Anyway, onward with
Fair
this
enough. I'll switch animals. I think I could live.
He's too big.
For 10 minutes around a grizzly bear. I think I could. Do I? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I do. I think I could give the bear a run around for 10 minutes.
You think you could run a grizzly bear around for 10 minutes?
Do you think you couldn't?
I mean, maybe, depending on the bear. I'm not even considering like the temperament of the animal here, really. Because I'm on the side that I would go for this. So like you're on my side here. But because like the yes or no is the aspect we're judging on here, to be clear. But I don't know about a grizzly bear specifically. They're so like, it depends on the grizzly bear, you know?
Yeah, because like they could just like maul you to death.
Like go either way for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can take one of the chiller big cats personally. I think I could handle like a tiger or something. I think I could like get one of those to calm the fuck down for a bit. Yeah, they are kind of quick.
That's the issue. Is like if I'm gonna have to be in like the ring with it for 10 minutes, I want to be able to like get away from it for 10 minutes rather than like calm it down.
Birds.
Oh, you know what we haven't
When I was thinking
considered
about
at
this, birds would be an easy answer. Just because like they
Birds
can't
are
really
an easy
fight.
answer.
But like
However,
those big ass exotic birds can fight though. Oh man.
I know
Actually,
exactly what
oh,
my
fuck.
choice is.
You know what your choice is? Oh shit.
A sloth. Fuck that thing. I'm beating his ass. And then I get to have like the chillest motherfucker ever.
You're just hanging out with sloths these days.
They're cool guys. They reduce their calorie intake and thus don't move very much. So, I like them.
That was a weird time to drop a fun fact about sloths on me. That was a very strange time to be doing that, I gotta say. You've just completely snapped me out of the conversation entirely.
That's why they're so slow. Did you know that? They've
I just
evolved.
didn't expect you to be dropping that shit in the middle of this conversation, dude. In the
They're
the middle of it.
Creatures.
But sloth is your final answer? Are you serious? That's where we're headed with that?
I think so.
Sloth's
Yeah, I think
pick.
so.
Sloth's
such a chill
that works. Sloth's a chill guy. I don't know. I think I'm on my big cat shit. I still think I could like maybe make a tiger happen. You know?
Alright.
The right tiger at the right time, I think I could make that happen. I was thinking about this when I was initially thinking about this. I was thinking about it being a chimp. And then I was like, okay, but like Jed can definitely take a chimp, right? I don't know if he'd think that. But like maybe two chimps.
No.
And then I was like, all right, well let's let Jed set the bar before I drop can you beat 5 chimps, you know? And so I had to back out like you versus a chimp for 3 rounds. And then it's like, would Jed even want a chimp? Even if he could fight the fucking chimp, would he take the chimp?
No.
Afterward, I'm not sure if he'd even want it.
It's such pain in the ass.
Exactly, because they're such a pain in the ass animal to have. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, you want to get into your next hypothetical? That was a good one. That was a real long one.
That was a pretty good.
That was a pretty solid hypothetical. Give us another one. Give us another lengthy discussion to have.
All right. Okay. So this is one that I actually took from online. But I saw it, and it was good, and I will give it credit for it. I saw it from a Reddit post who credited a TikTok post, so I don't know if I need to credit when I'm like 3 credits deep. But you have the opportunity. You're offered by a genie, and you're given on one hand. You can dispense any liquid from any finger. Like each finger is a different liquid, and you can dispense them as you please. What liquids would you choose?
Oh man, okay. So here's a weird answer. I think I have an answer for some of these. This is a hypothetical I've been asked and considered before in the past. So
Really? Okay.
I partially have my answers like laid out for this one. So going from thumb to pinky, I'm thinking water on the thumb. I'm thinking that's a pretty good one to have on the thumb. Just a nice water. And like I want each of these ice fucking cold too. Oh man, could you imagine?
Yeah,
could you imagine just having like a fucking freezing straight out the fountain water thumb thing going on?
That would be incredible. I thought about that though, and I thought about how the fact
that it would be like 90
most
degrees.
of the time, yeah, they're gonna be like 100 degree. So yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, they can be your desirable temperature of whatever.
Okay, all right. Let me get water on the thumb. Let me get a soda of some kind on the index, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what though. Let's go with a base Coca-Cola. Let's go with a base Coca-Cola in that case. Let's get tea. Let's get like a sweetened, like an iced tea on the bird, and then the other two I haven't really considered all that much. I've just thought about
Okay.
like those are the three I always have in my lineup when I'm asked this question, because weirdly I've been asked it before. And now that I've said that out
Mhm.
loud, I just considered that I have, yeah, and it was like it's been more than once, weirdly enough.
Huh.
To the point where like
Yeah.
those three have been like part of my go-to list. I've heard all sorts of shit in answer to this one. I've heard like some people want glue, some people want like
Glue?
condiments. Well, just as like a
Huh.
utility of just like, oh man, I'd love to have like as a liquid, I would love to have like a Bondo or something, you know? Or like a Gorilla Glue
Yeah.
as just like a little quick whoop, boop, done, you know?
Yeah. Well, so my order, at least, would
But I don't know what
be
my last two would be. Anyway, what are your last two? Or what are your
yeah.
whole five, rather? Let's hear them.
So thumb water, index finger iced tea, unsweetened iced tea, just because that's my preference.
Yeah, alright.
Middle finger, I think I would have to go with some sort of Gatorade, I think. Because I think having a
Ooh.
source of electrolytes
An
is really good
electrolyte
as
or
well.
like a sports or an energy drink would be great
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
think I would
steal
have
that.
Rockstar out of my ring finger. Oh. No, I'm replacing the Gatorade with Rockstar, and then ring finger is rubbing alcohol,
We're making
and
healthy
pinky finger is
choices here.
gasoline. But
Gasoline is an insane pick.
gasoline's an insane pull. Yeah, I know.
Dude, you've got the
uh,
moneymaker. Yeah, no, I'm stealing your Powerade, and I'm having that. I'm
taking your
having a
goddamn
Gatorade
Powerade.
finger, dude. I'm having a Gatorade finger.
The funniest part about this is because it puts the mental image of somebody sticking their whole ass finger in their mouth and just like, what the fuck are you doing?
But then you gotta think of the
Freaking
order.
Gatorade.
You gotta think of the order. You gotta have some separation, though. That's the only thing I disagree with about your gasoline
Yeah.
pick. Is like, do you want your
Really?
fucking like Rockstar finger right next to your fucking gasoline finger, dude?
No, it's next to my rubbing alcohol finger. My rubbing alcohol finger is next to my Rockstar finger. However, my
Okay, that's not
take
quite as
would
bad. Then. That's
actually
not quite as bad. Your
not
take?
to be the liquid, not to take the liquid one, because I have a minor adjustment to fit within the
No.
guidelines
If you
of our
have more
rules here.
thoughts about like the rule set for the liquid, go ahead. We can
Yeah, well, no, I
absolutely delve into
wanted
this liquid shit. I got time.
I wanted to pick the liquids before I like actually went into the rest of it. Because here's the caveat to it: is you get all those fantastic liquids coming out of your finger.
Oh,
However,
no.
they always have just a little bit left on your fingers, no matter what, of each substance.
Yeah, that stands then. I don't know why I would
You
want.
still would do it?
I would still do it the way I have it set up. Again,
Oh no, no! I just mean
especially your
like, will you
gasoline
take it or
finger.
not?
Yeah, I'll still do it. Like I'll still go for it.
You would permanently take like drippy Coca-Cola finger.
One Coca-Cola finger, yeah. Well,
Oh man!
actually,
But
no. I
that's
just
like,
considered my my sanitation
yeah.
and like drinking out of my like finger when I know where my finger's been. You know.
But then the
I
issue
don't think
is
I'd
as
get as
well
much
is
use
like,
out of it as I'd think I would, and it would just ruin everything else
it's
on top of that because it's like sticky finger forever, dude.
yeah, and like you got one sticky finger, and then one that's just kind of wet, and one that's covered in
Oh my god,
gasoline at all
dude.
times.
No, you've
Like,
convinced me out of it now. Now I don't want it. Now I want
but
nothing to do
it's
with
such
that
a
fucking
small
thing.
like it's such a small like drip, just a dribble out of it.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
ew, no, God. Now I'm
yeah,
thinking more critically about the like logistics of it, and it's not looking good, dude. It looks real bad. It looks real
yeah,
nasty. Oh
but
man.
free gasoline, you know?
But free gasoline at the cost of that,
I wouldn't take it.
at the cost of like smelling gasoline constantly too, though. Even just a little bit.
That's true.
Every piece of clothes you own will smell like gasoline forever. There's no way.
You're just mildly
There's no
flammable
way.
forever.
You're just like a mildly flammable motherfucker. That's part of your aura now. That's what you've got.
Oh my god, I'm imagining the guy who like, yeah, I put it on my pointer finger. I put gasoline on my pointer finger. Somebody offered me a cigarette one time, dude. Don't take a cigarette. Oh man.
Oh,
But yeah, I thought that was a
God.
fun one, and
No,
I thought
that
it
was
was
a
fun
really
to put
fun one.
that little dribble spin on it. Because
And if we're doing
otherwise
ones
it
that
just
we
wouldn't
got
fit.
that we got from Reddit and other places as like filler
Mhm.
for Jesus Christ, because it is difficult to come up with these. Shout outs to everybody who can come up with this shit, dude.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely deranged. I read this and I was like, there's just no way I don't ask Jed this question on the show today. Because it's genuinely that good of a question. This one is, you get $1 billion. 1 billion. You get $1 billion right now. But in the next 10 years, you must step foot on the moon or else you will be instantly killed. Do you take that?
In the next 10 years?
At some
Yeah,
point
sure, I'll
between
take
now
that.
and a decade from now, you have to be on the moon or you will just fucking die on the spot. Just brain aneurysm, out. Gone. Like that.
Nowadays, actually, after that whole Katy Perry thing, where they're just sending people out to space for no goddamn reason, I'm sure I could find some fucking billionaire.
You're gonna work on that as like a shoulder shrug, billionaires are doing all kinds of shit lately, maybe Me Too kind of thing? Is that what we're doing right now?
Well, I don't know. Is $1 billion enough to make it to the moon without it being a problem, you know? Like that's the other concern, is that I don't know if $1 billion is enough to do a space launch.
Yeah, I don't know if
You
a billion would be enough, but $1 billion and a decade to take that billion and do something with it. You can make anything out of $1 billion
That's
in a
true.
decade, right? But you wouldn't want to
That
spend
is
too long
true.
doing it. You wouldn't want to spend too long doing it, you know?
Yeah, because you would still want to build off of it.
Yeah. Because you still need
Yeah,
to
I
like
don't-
get to the
here-
moon on top of setting up the finances to go to the moon, you know?
Yeah. How
You
much
need to
does it
leave time
cost
for
for
that portion of
NASA
it.
to launch rockets into space? That's a pretty good barrier. It costs over $2 billion per launch. Okay.
Did they like count that out to be double what you would have? I think you could double your money in a decade with $1 billion.
Yeah. Would you do it?
I don't think I would. And here's why. But I'm taking the I will as just being on the difficult side of it. I don't think I would personally, because like that is a lot of expectation over that year. That's gonna be a lot of working on that, or like prepping your like goodbyes and shit. Because at what point? Because like whenever I hear this, I picture there's a point in like year 8, I would assume, where like you've had these anxieties before, but you know it for sure now. Like you're just not going to the moon in the next like year and a half, 2 years. It's not happening. There's no way. And then you just have an uncomfortable amount of time where like you know it's not happening and you know what has to happen instead. And it's just like oh man, this sucks. For like a year and a half, 2 years.
Alternatively, you could take this hypothetical and just go, I've got $1 billion and 10 years to do whatever the fuck I want with it before I die.
There is that.
It's pretty much
too. If you're
just
comfortable
saying,
being
like,
dead in a decade for the expense of $1 billion, then yeah. No, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't. The thing about $1 billion is, what the fuck would you do with it, dude? I'm not gonna be buying football teams and shit. What the hell am I supposed to do with $1 billion?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, what are you supposed to do with $1 billion? What could you even make of that over a decade?
Not enough to go to the moon.
Not enough to go to the moon. I didn't even consider that as an angle, like the finances of making that happen. Honestly, I just assumed that would be enough. I was like, yeah, that could probably get somebody to the moon at some point.
Yeah,
and you're right. I think you're right. After this Katy Perry thing, I think you could probably find a way to be on the moon in the next 10 years. If you had to, like, if you just like, Because
if you had the
being a
right
guy with $1
connections.
billion, being a guy with $1 billion isn't enough to get you to the moon, but being a guy with $1 million is enough to get you popular on TikTok somehow, and then get you to the moon that way in the next decade somewhere. Aha!
That's true.
Woohoo!
That's true. Day 10 of trying to get to the moon with $1 billion before I die in a decade. Challenge.
People would eat that shit up over there, dude. There's a guy right now who's like selling space on his wall for like advertising as a bit. Like that's his bit right now. Is like he's selling like I'll print out on like a standard like 8.5 by 11 piece of printer paper. I'll print out your ad and tape it up behind me, and it'll go up on the ad wall. And that's pretty funny that is a bit that can succeed over there. I love TikTok for that kind of stupid shit. It's really
There's
funny.
A guy who's like dancing until I get a girlfriend. He's been dancing for like fucking.
Didn't he finish dancing? Like, isn't he done dancing now?
2,000 days. Is he? Did he get a girlfriend?
He did at some point. I don't know if he's
like...
back to dancing now, but like he did at some point stop for a little bit.
That's so funny to imply that this guy doing the chica dance until I get a girlfriend, he gets a girlfriend, and then the second he stops having a girlfriend, it goes back to day one.
Back at day one, dude. Up. Back at fucking day one.
I don't think I could get a girlfriend if I was that guy, though.
No, what do you mean? Because then you're like one bit is gone?
Yeah, man. Like, people love me on TikTok because I'm the guy who's dancing on TikTok until I get a girlfriend. The second I get a girlfriend, I'm not the loser who's looking for a girlfriend, dude.
Oh, man, you don't have to call him a loser about it. Why'd you have to go and do that?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I fair. I didn't mean to.
I
forgot this is a real dude. I forgot this is a real dude.
You're talking about, actually, yeah. Wait a minute.
I completely forgot about that fact. I was thinking about this I was thinking about it as a hypothetical. Hypothetically, some guy dancing every day until he gets a girlfriend.
Oh my god, hypothetically, that guy would be a huge loser, huh?
He's hypothetically, he would be, but in real life, I'm sure he isn't.
In real life, I'm sure he's a lovely individual. Yeah, you have dug yourself a hole. You want to dig yourself out of it with one of your hypotheticals?
I just did one of my hypotheticals, brother. I think, didn't I? No,
no, that one was mine.
That was the moon one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about go to the moon or die instantly, which I read and just could not be more tickled by in the moment.
Or die instantly is genuinely fucking hilarious, though.
Not even die, be killed instantly. Like, you will be killed instantaneously, dude.
Alright. So this one's a real petty one, and it might be short. You get a long, happy life, but the person you hate most is guaranteed a long, happy life. Or you have to pick one or the other. Or you forfeit your most prized possession, or, prized whatever is most important to you in the world, whether it's a person or an object. But the person you hate most will forever be in turmoil. Like, you just guarantee that whoever you have, like, the biggest fuck you for is never gonna have a good day again. Would you do that? Are you petty enough?
What sick sadistic fuck is saying yes to this, dude? I mean, I guess it depends on what the stakes are, right? I guess it depends on what the stakes are for the person. Because to me, if I'm giving an honest answer here, it's really lame. But if I'm giving an honest answer, it's my husband. And so it's just like, I'm not giving up my husband just to make sure some asshole has it worse. You know? And I can't think of anybody that, like, I hate
Fine,
the
then
most.
not your husband.
But yeah, but I think that about everything, even like the superficial stuff is like, I'm not giving up something nice that I have just because I want to like make some asshole worse off, you know? Even conceptually, this question just, I don't know. It doesn't appeal. It doesn't fly.
It doesn't appeal. Interesting. Fair enough. I'm pretty petty when it comes to this sort of thing, where it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to have, like, the other issue is that if you pick the other one, then the person who you dislike that much is guaranteed to have, like, a perfect life. You know?
Yeah, but, like, So what? As long as what they want for a perfect life doesn't clash with what I want for one, and that's kind of in the rules.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
fair
that's
enough.
sort of
Man,
baked
I'm
into the
terrible at
question,
writing these.
weirdly enough. No, yeah, you've just been hitting some duds here. You've just been hitting some real duderinos on this one. You want me to take it?
Yeah. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. Take another one.
All right. Now that we've talked about how bad you are at writing these, here's another one that I got from the internet because I spent way too long trying to fill in my final slot and just couldn't manage it. All right. So you get $5,000 a day as long as you shoplift one item without being caught every single day. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what the value is. You just have to steal something from from like a business. You have to steal something once every day for that 5K.
Does it have to be a whole product?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Because my initial thought is take the extra button from an inside of a shirt every day. Nobody's gonna catch you for that. But if it has to be a whole ass item, I think I'd do that. There's enough like super easy things to steal that you wouldn't realize.
I suppose so. For me, it's just an anxiety issue of like a lot of these larger chains have like weird loss prevention shit going on where they're doing like, yeah, no, we don't catch them until we catch them on camera, like getting a felony quantity of shit and then you're caught, you know? Like for that reason, it would throw me into like, I don't know if I want to be stealing shit every single day, you know? Also, you would have to be making a concerted effort. Yeah, or like you break the chain and it's Jover. It's Jovler, dude.
Okay, so if the chain breaks, it's Jover forever. You can't just like
choose the well's dried up.
Okay.
It's not just like I need $5,000 today. Let me go steal something, you know?
And then you have to like, how many days could you keep it up? And is that gonna be enough money to pay off if you were to get caught? So it would also depend on what you were choosing to shoplift, too.
I suppose so.
And who you are, because I guess if you're like the owner of a store, you could like just shoplift your own shit. You know.
I suppose you could in that case, but like generally speaking, I think it wouldn't be that hard to upkeep. I just think that like, who is out every single day to steal something, you know?
Yeah, you would have to make a concerted effort to leave your home to go to the gas station to like take a candy bar or some shit. To
the point where you're bound to just get caught at some point. You're bound to just like get careless on one of these everyday shoplifting missions, right?
No, I'm taking it. I'm 100% taking this one, actually. I just figured it out.
You figured it out?
So here's the plan.
How did you game it?
I've gamed it completely. Here's the plan. You go to a destination of your choosing, a gas station or a Dollar General or something with small objects. You go in, you shop around for a little bit, you grab your, say you're going into the gas station, you grab your, like, Rockstar Energy, and then you take your candy bar, you stuff your candy bar in your jacket, and then you go up to the counter, put the Rockstar down, make a conversation with the person behind the counter. Every day you come in, you buy a Rockstar Energy. Nobody's going to think that the guy who comes in every day and has a polite conversation with them and buys his drink is also stealing every day. Nobody's ever going to get that. So if you think you could get away with 2 or 3, you're set. Because that's the other thing about loss prevention is, as somebody who worked inside of a retail store, one of the things that actually turns you off from stealing is talking with the customer. And I would assume that it goes the reverse way, where if you're talking with the person at the convenience store stand and you're making it as if you're a routine customer every day who comes in and it's like, before work, I go and I grab my fucking Rockstar Energy from the Dollar General and then I leave. I don't know. I think that's a pretty solid choice.
You think you could manage that? Damn.
I think I could.
I thought I could, and I think I'd end up with a friend dunk on being in Don't Take It. God damn. I can't believe that. Alright, Alright, you take it then. Take another one.
Holy shit.
We're burning through these a little quick. I didn't realize how fast we'd get through some of these.
Yeah, I guess that's the issue with these hypotheticals is that they're very just like once you get them, and then you're done. But I've got a few more that I have written, varying on their quality.
You've got a few more? Okay, I've only got one more written here for our set of 5. I'm glad you brought some backups then.
Oh yeah, I brought a couple backups.
We'll hear your backups beyond the game. Let's hear your last submission for the game proper.
Yeah, they're all ones I found online though. So, but my one that I have made, I've got 2 more that I've made. Your hands are always cold, but the rest of your body is a comfortable temperature, no matter what temperature it is outside, or where you are. Or $1 million, but you're perpetually hot. $1 million a year, but you're perpetually hot. So you're either permanently with cold hands,
one or the other,
or perpetually hot. Yep.
I'm gonna have to go cold hands, dude. I'm gonna have to go cold hands. As much as I hate both of these options, I genuinely hate them both. I just could not stand to be that warm for that permanently. No. Hell
I don't know, but the reason that I put it as cold hands is because cold hands specifically, that inhibits your ability to type and shit too. So at least like if you're just like always a little bit warm, I don't know. I might be able to get used to it. You might be able to adapt to being like I'm just too overheated all the time.
That's what I'm thinking is like that you might just be able to adapt to having cold hands. There are times where I have cold hands where I don't notice till I like put my hands on somebody and they notice, Where it's like, oh man, your hands are cold, and it's like, oh, I didn't even see. So I feel like it would become like that after the first little bit, and you would be able to sort of ignore the sensation. $1 million a year for that is
for being
I don't know
warm.
if that's for being warm though. I don't know.
Yeah. The upside to the cold hands is the not feeling any temperature in the rest of your body and always being comfortable. But the upside of this one is the $1 million a year, but you're perpetually hot.
But $1 million a year is pretty good on that last one. That is a pretty good upshot for it. But what was that about? Just $1 million is like, it's not as much as you'd think it is if that's all you got all year, man.
Yeah, well, do you think you could go through $1 million a year? I don't think.
I think I could manage that. I think I could manage to go through $1 million in a year. Yeah.
I think if I was trying,
not that I do right now, but I'm just saying I feel like it's not quite enough for me to like take on a permanent like affliction from it, Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So you would take the cold hands?
Yeah, I think I'm still going cold hands on this one, man. I'm sorry. I can't help you out any on that. It's cold hands time.
No. That's completely fine. That means that you've gotten a point, I think? Did you get a point? Or no, I just didn't get a point because it was my hypothetical. I'm dumb.
Yeah, you didn't get a point because it was your hypothetical. We are 1-2 right now in your favor.
That we are.
Well, we're 1-2. Yeah, we're 1-2 because this one and the other one were a dud, and so that lines up. That lines up. Yeah. Okay. So, next up is a very famous hypothetical that's very important to us. Jed, would you rather?
Okay.
And I mean this when I say this. Would you rather have a penny that doubles in size every day, or a penny that doubles in value every day for a month?
A penny that doubles in value.
Yeah, but the size of the penny, dude. Think about how big the penny would be. It would be huge. It would be great.
Yeah,
big ass penny.
It would be way too fucking big. That would be way too fucking big.
But do you think you could sell the finalized penny for more than you would have at the end of the month from the doubling in value penny?
I don't know fucking Batman. No, I don't know somebody who would keep a fucking penny the size of the goddamn Empire State Building around.
You don't
Not
know
the
anybody
Empire
would
State
want that?
Building.
You don't have anybody who'd like a buyer's market for 40-foot penny?
Actually, does it keep its like molecular integrity? Like, is it just a big penny?
Just a big penny.
Okay, so like you'd be able to see all of the I can't spin this in a way that. Why the fuck would you want that big of a penny?
It's a really big penny, man. You wouldn't?
But doubling in value every day for a month. How much would that end up being? Somebody's already done the math. I'm certain of it. If a penny doubles every day for a month, there you go. It would end out to $10 million. A $10 million penny.
Or a really big penny.
That's really funny. Because that's what that question boils down to. So yeah, I don't.
That is what.
What's your answer to this one, Vox?
I'd rather not say.
Have you just baited me into a trap?
I feel like I've been shamed here.
Big penny.
No, I'm on the like 10 million side of things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. That one was not one that was in all seriousness, so I will concede and allow you victory in this.
Victory.
This is the first one of these that you've won, dude. That's why I'm saying it like that. We've done these like on stream and we've done these on the show. This is the first one of these that you've won.
Yeah,
it's worked out in my favor every single time. And it gets to be the one that wraps year one of the show.
That's incredible. That truly is. And on a similarly memey question, do you remember the Dinner with Jay-Z or $500,000? Of course you do, because I talked to you about it before the show. But
yeah, I love that question. It's one of my favorite hypotheticals ever. Why do you ask?
I've got a hypothetical for you, Vox. Would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or become Jay-Z?
I could be Jay-Z in this hypothetical?
You could be Jay-Z, but you'll never have Jay-Z's you'll never really be Jay-Z.
Yeah, I could never be as Jay-Z is. I can't wait for
you could come close to being Jay-Z by talking to him. Yeah, I would say you could come closer to being Jay-Z by talking to him than you could by just being him.
That's fair. That's where I was gonna go with that. Is that like I feel like that's really the point of it all. Is that like Jay-Z is a unique personality all on his own. You know, and you would miss a lot of what makes Jay-Z by doing that. So you really got to take the time and really have the dinner with Jay-Z. I think it's the better option of the two.
Absolutely, yeah. I think becoming Jay-Z is it's a little too close to trying to be God. You know.
Yeah, it's just arrogant of me to assume that I could be Jay-Z. Is really like the end all be all of it. I think there's just an arrogance to it. That goes unexplored. But I've been pretty sluggish today. We've been pretty sluggish today. It's been kind of a weird. It's been kind of a weird recording day here. But when is it not a weird recording day over at Fight About It's little maniac ranch that we have running here? But I feel like this episode is a good time to talk about. Episode is a good time to talk about before we get into any of your spare hypotheticals we have set aside. It's a good episode to talk about the fact that, man, these themed episodes have took something out of us. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of the year 10 fucking episodes is, and I've dragged us through 10 themed episodes. And they've been good episodes. Good. They've been pretty good episodes all round. But it's definitely been a tight sell. It's definitely been a tight sell to get these 10 episodes out.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? You want to talk about like what a mess it's been just lately doing episodes, especially because we're in a transitional period ourselves too. Anyway, take it away. Take it for a minute. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's funny because the themed episodes are nice because we come into them and it's like, yeah, we know exactly what we're doing today. We're talking about hypotheticals. But then you get to the point where it's like, yeah, we've kind of, we've gone through a couple of our hypotheticals, but at this point, what are we talking about? And that's the issue, is that when you go off topic on these topic episodes, you feel bad about it. But that's the show, I've realized, over these topic episodes, is the tangents. Like, the show is the tangents. That's where we get our most enjoyable moments, is when we don't force them. And I think that is a very good lesson to learn. And I think that it was good to have themed episodes for while they lasted. But I do think they caused more headaches than they alleviated.
Yeah, a good themed episode can be great every now and again. It can be a great addition to the show and a great addition to the catalog, but I think 10 back-to-back is definitely the most of them I ever want to do again. And sorry to jump immediately over to talking about themed stuff. Did you have more you wanted to say about hypotheticals and stuff before we move in? Or move on, rather?
No, I think actually I had cycled through all my hypotheticals. We had gone through them quicker than expected. I think it's just because we, agreed with them more, and,
we were more agreeable in points where we didn't think we'd be, I suppose, and we ended up in a situation where it kind of stalemated us out, with a half-episode runtime, which sucks, because this is the one we've been kind of building to, but that's all right. We can still make this last half a real good one. We can still make this a damn good episode for the ages. I actually quite like that it's half gimmick, half not for this last one. I think that can be pretty good.
We will say that the first half of the episode is an incredible send-off to the end of year one and topics, and the end of this one is a natural move to our normal fight about it that we will have.
What a nice artsy way. What a nice artsy way to bullshit our way out of having to do the rest of this episode in theme. But we're on our last one of this year now. And it is actually kind of surreal this time. It wasn't surreal last time because we had built it up too much for the penultimate one. But honestly, I don't know, it's really surreal to actually be on 50 right now. To be doing episode 50 in this moment is very odd to me. And the fact that what's up next is 51, the beginning of year 2 of Fight About It, is insane also. And all of that does come together to make this just a wild experience. And it sucks that this episode isn't necessarily my favorite, but it tends to be how that is, at least so far. Yeah. But it tends to be how that is that, the second to last one, the penultimate one, if you will, is typically better than the final one in a lot of cases. And I'm okay with that, I think. Well, what are you talking about?
The way that I see it is that, when you hype up an episode 50 or something like that enough, you get it so, excited in your head that you almost overdo it in there, and it gets a little bit overcooked. But then on the episodes before it, the last episode where it was I want to talk about this being the final episode, 49 being our, reminiscing episode. It really allowed it to be, a very natural feeling episode because it was just a natural topic, But
yeah. It really made me hearken toward more natural, non-themed episodes, honestly. And so I'm sort of glad we're breaking it up a little here. Just sort of impromptu at the end of this one, because that was sort of our emergency shoot. Is just we'll just divert into a normal episode if we run out of hypothetical.
Yeah,
because that was something that was really hard to time out. Of just how long will these last each? How many of them should we prepare? How much fun are they going to be to do necessarily? Yeah. Just the whole thing, really. And it's all right. I think it's all right to move on. Do you got anything in particular you want to move on to? Because I got some stuff.
Oh, man.
If you don't.
I've been doing a lot of weird things, but let's have you roll it. I've been rolling some of the hypotheticals. So I think I just rolled the last hypothetical, so go ahead.
That new GTA trailer, man. They put out a new GTA trailer a couple weeks ago, and I have been thinking about it non-stop.
It looks good.
It looks gorgeous. I haven't seen a video game. I thought we were beyond that point. I have not seen a video game that has made me look at real gameplay footage or what is supposedly real gameplay footage and go, no, that can't be. That can't be real gameplay, and I'm not fighting this as being real gameplay. I'm just saying it's hard to believe. It is really hard to believe for me that is not pre-rendered. No video game has ever looked that good, and I thought we were beyond that as a society. Like, technologically, I thought we were beyond the point where games could look that many leaps and bounds ahead of each other. That we're going like, no, that's not real. That's not legitimate. But I really liked the trailer. I thought it was a really good trailer. I thought it looked really good. I thought it was a really amazing insight into the game itself. What did you think, Jed? Did you end up seeing it?
I thought it was incredible. Yeah, I did end up seeing it. I actually ended up watching it with my mom because she got into GTA 5 online. So she wanted to watch the trailers with me. And they look fucking gorgeous. There are a lot of people talking online about how they think the male character is a cop. Just based on like how he interacts with it and or like with the rest of the trailer, I guess. And I think that could actually be a really cool dynamic for a GTA game. Have we seen that before? You know more about the other GTAs than I do. Have we ever seen like a playable cop character?
I don't think we have, but I know what we have seen, and that is we've seen other games tackle similar stories like that, like A Way Out. And A Way Out is really good, but I don't know if I want that again. I don't know if I want that particular betrayal plot line, because I keep seeing that online, like you said, people going like, oh, is this guy a cop? Could it be? And it's making me really sad, because it's like, oh man, I really hope people haven't figured this game out already. That's gonna be really sad if we fucking figured it out that fast.
I figure if he's a cop, he's like a shady cop, you know? I don't think he's gonna be betraying
I don't think it's that
main
simple.
Character. You don't think so?
Yeah, like you're saying, I'm agreeing with you that I don't think it's as simple as he is a cop doing undercover shit, like A Way Out. Spoilers, by the way, I guess. But like, I feel like it's gonna be, it'll have more layers of depth to it if that's what they elect to do with it. But I don't know what else they'll do with it. I'm really worried about that being like oh shit, the community's managed to guess it. But I don't think so. I don't think they would go for that with another game of a very similar genre doing a very similar thing, you know?
Yeah. I would really hope that they didn't. Because that is just like I don't know. It would be really hard to top A Way Out for me.
Oh yeah.
Like, and especially if people have guessed it already, it's if they are trying to do it as a twist, it's a bad twist. And that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate if that's the case, because it will be a bad twist. And maybe it's some kind of double twist. Maybe they're setting us up to believe this, and then it won't be true in the final thing. But we'll see. We'll have to see on that. I just thought the trailer looked really nice. I think there's a really good vibe for this game. I think we've got something special going on here. And I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to play it. You got anything you're excited for, Jed? Video games.
I'm excited for the fact that I own a PS5 and the fact that I will be able to fucking play it. It's horseshit that they aren't just releasing it on PC at the same time. Why the fuck is any game doing this ever?
That is the most backwards Stone Age shit ever, I know. But Rockstar's set in their ways that they'll make more money on it that way. And maybe they will. Maybe they will. But
I mean, they're right. And the worst part is that I know they're right, because I know that I'm going to buy it on PS5 and then inevitably buy it on PC at some point, you know?
Yeah. I guess they are right in that way, is that suckers like us exist who will just buy it in both places.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have an issue with like completionist my library. Sometimes I'll buy games just to have them, and I think that's a problem. When am I gonna play Fallout 1 and 2? I don't know. I'd rather have them though. That way I can have all the Fallout games. You know.
That is a problem. You've become a hoarder, man. You've started.
I've become a hoarder, but for Steam games, dude.
You should sit down and play some of your Steam games.
I have been. I've been playing like a fuck ton of Oblivion and shit.
Yeah,
all the ones that I purchased.
You bought recently.
Yeah.
I mean, the old shit. You should go through and get back to your like achievement quest garbage or whatever you were doing.
Yeah, I should. But I was thinking about it the other day and how like the landscape of video games
Yeah.
in general right now is fucking insane, dude. Like you and I, how we play video games, at least on some of our like hangout nights, we generally will just jump from game to game to game. Like we will go from fucking speedrunners over to Sea of Thieves, and then once we're done with Sea of Thieves, we'll play some Repo and yada yada yada, and we'll
Just
bounce
whatever we're
around.
feeling as a
And
group. Yeah. What of it?
by Christ, could you imagine that, like, the nightmare that is like, all right, we finished up with this game. Let's stand up, walk over to the Xbox, take out the disc, put the disc back into the case, take out the other case, put in the new disc, wait for the
Oh
game to
yeah, what a
fucking spin up.
nightmare. Actually, yeah.
Like
How like
that's
horrifically
something that I
inconvenient.
realized. Yeah, is that like that would make that process so much more of a pain in the ass, and it wouldn't be a doable process. But now games are just click, click, we're playing a new game now. Like sitting in the same spot, playing a new game. And I think that's crazy. I've been thinking about like just a lot of like human invention and how fucking insane it is that we've made it to like the points that we've made it to. I don't know if you see it that way too, but like the leaps and bounds that we've had to make as a society to get to the point that we are is incredible.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy, man. Light switches and taps are awesome, I think.
So here's the issue is that I've been real
I don't
sick.
know where that
I have not left the house.
yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that cuz that's what I was trying to pass to you earlier when we got to like I think human invention is sick and whoa and all that. I was trying to get you to talk about how like ill you've been because you've been horrifically sick and we barely talked about it on the show at all.
Yeah.
So take it away. Let's have a chat about it now that you're like supposedly coming out the other side of it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it is and was it is. I'm still going through it. Something called hashitoxicosis. Which happens with people who have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is a disease that your immune system attacks your own thyroid. And I don't know if you know this, but thyroid hormone is a very important thing to the human body.
Yeah.
And when you're going through this hashitoxicosis, your body is going through the initial phases of eating your thyroid, and it will kind of pop open these pockets of thyroid hormone and then burst you into a hyperthyroid state. So you'll go from a hypothyroid state all the way over to a hyperthyroid state. And they're very different feelings. Hyperthyroid is you get heat intolerance, you get a low-grade fever. I get really nauseous and like just kind of queasy. But then when you go into hypo, which is most of the day and earlier into the day, it's a lot of like irritability and just like I feel like I'm going fucking insane, and there's just general fatigue across all of it. Like I've not gotten out of bed much at all. To the point where like I've seen my muscles have actually atrophied, and that's really sad.
Yeah.
Like that's really sad because it's to the point where it's like I'm a big dude, and it's caused me to have big muscles, and one of my largest muscles that I've had for my entire life.
Muscles.
Of course I've had it for my fucking entire life. It's a part of my body. But
yeah,
you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've just been letting you run. Dude, I've just been letting you like run on this like muscles that I've had my entire life shit. I couldn't stop you. I was like, I don't know where Jed's going, but like he's going there by God, and he's trying.
I've always had very strong traps, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And now they're starting to like go away to the point where like I'm able to see more of my shoulder bone, which is uncomfortable. Like that's not something I've ever seen before. And it makes me really sad, actually. It's genuinely, I saw it earlier today, and I kind of just went, oh, man. Because it's like, it's really showing that this month, because it's been a month now that I've been in bed practically every day, all day. This month has been miserable.
Yeah, no, it sounds pretty sad. It sounds really depressing, actually. So I think we need to like scoot along. But like, it sounds fucked, spirits. And you've been going through it, and it's like I haven't been able to really do anything for you. I've been just like sitting around, kind of waiting for Jed to get back. But I've been working on my own stuff in the background. I've been going through a different kind of thing. I've been working on like a rebrand and everything, and I have, to tell you the truth, no idea what to say about any of it. Because like it's kind of all over the place right now, where it's like I don't know what I want to keep and what I want to throw away. I don't know what I want to do with this. I don't know what I want to do with that. I don't know what decisions I want to make here or there. You know, and I'm sort of on the precipice of a lot of major decision making. And it's making me quite sad to not have like a defined like character, weirdly. Like that's sort of like hurting my experience of being a guy on the internet, is that the little guy that represents me is non-consistent at the moment. And like that sucks, and it sucks for completely different reasons to you being sick, but I wanted to bring that up and bring up that sucks because it's preventing me from making content, and I wish I was making content. And that's what really sucks about it. But what I bring that up to say that like we're both kind of going through it with stuff, and we mentioned it on the show not to be like a couple of depressing dicks, but like to mention that like it's most of the way over now. Now we're on like the good end of things. At least on my end and from my view. We're on the good end of things where things have pretty much set themselves to resolve and will like snowball their way to a resolution. And that's what's good about it. That's what's good about all this bad stuff we're talking about in the last like 30 minutes of this episode.
Oh man, sadly, when it comes to my illness, I had a moment today, which is this is doubling back on sad. But I had a moment today. What in the fuck? Sorry. Okay, let me write that time code down. What's the time?
It's 1 hour and 21 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay. And but yeah, the sad thing about all of it.
Sorry, I was just telling you could pick it up whenever.
Oh, okay, cool. But I had this moment earlier today, which was like a sad moment, and I hate to bring it back. But I was like laying in bed, and I had this thought of, yeah, I'm getting over the Hashimoto's, but this just means that now I'm going into fucking Hashimoto's thyroiditis with fucking hypothyroid forever. And so I kind of had this moment where I was like, yeah, I'm getting better, but I'm getting better to a point where it's like, yeah, you're never going to be as good as you were before.
Out of the frying pan into the fire and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
no, I get you. That sucks.
That was sad, but I have a hard time being in bad spirits about it. And I think that's really good, honestly, is the fact that I'm able to face something difficult and still have a hard time being sad about it, you know?
Yeah, I guess that is the takeaway, is that you can sort of come out of it and still have a positive outlook. I suppose that is like the pullout from this. And that's solid. Like, I'm glad it's at least cuz like go ahead.
Well, no, it's just that like I have the opportunity to be sad about it, and I have all right to be like, yeah, you have an illness now, whatever, deal with it, be sad about it if you want to, but I can't muster any feelings of it because it's just like, yeah, this is my life. Why would I be sad about something that I can't control? And I'm happy about it.
You've just elected to not be sad about it anymore, and now you're happy about it. That's good, at least, though. That's good, at least. But yeah, no, I haven't been able to like hang out with you as much in these past few weeks, and I've been missing you. And so it's been a lot of this show has been a lot of our connective tissue for the friendship in the meantime. It's been a lot of like, well, at least we get to sit and record the show. And then the show has been pretty consistently a mess to record, like every week. And so it's just been like the world has been fighting against us hanging out at all ever. It's been crazy.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm like starting to adjust back to not necessarily feeling better, but being more socially active, because those first few weeks were just like really difficult for me to like muster any energy for it. But now it's like, well, I don't have the energy for it, but my will to see my friends is stronger than my will to be comfortable, you know. And that's the thing about it, is that I'm getting to the other side of it, not because I'm necessarily getting healthy, but because I'm just learning to cope with it. And that's
learning
what chronic
to cope,
illness
seethe,
is.
and mold.
Yeah. But enough about that sad shit.
Yeah, enough about that sad, stupid bullshit you're going through. Womp womp. Let's move on. What do you want to move on to, Jed? What do you want to move on to?
That's a good question. I've been playing Doom lately. The new Doom game came out.
Yeah, let's talk about the new Doom game. Hell yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
It's good? I hope so.
It's a prequel. He's a younger man in it. You can see his face sculpt. He's baby shaped. Like he has, dude. Yeah, have you seen it? He doesn't have
I have
like
not
the jaw.
seen it, no.
He's got like a square jaw, but it isn't the like Jesus Christ Doomslayer, like you've got wings coming off the side of your face.
They've tried to like airbrush it down a little bit. They've ground it down to like a slope for him or some shit. I see what you're saying. To sort of like youngify him. But no, how have you been liking it? How have you been liking the new Doom game so far?
It's gameplay wise. Oh man, I think it might be the best Doom game. I think it just might be, because by God, they matched all the systems to work in tandem really nicely. In Doom Eternal, I often found myself forgetting that I had grenades or the like fire shoulder cannon that you get. I remember not using that very much. I remember barely using the chainsaw unless it was like, man, I need ammo. But in this game, they actually blend it to where it's like, yeah, if you use when you throw the shield, it'll give you ammo for your thing, and then when you get headshots with that thing, it'll recharge your punch meter, and then when you punch somebody, it'll give you extra health. So it all loops back into like being this really cohesive, like, running around, throwing a shield, shooting a demon, and then like it all blends together into being a very like, you're not looking at meters, it just works. And I was really blown away, because I think they wanted to do that in Doom Eternal, but it just, I don't know, man, you're given a gun, shoot the thing. But
I feel like I'm glad for that, because I feel like that's an issue they've been working towards fixing for a while, where it's just like, yeah, I want a perfectly like circular gameplay loop. Like you could see it in Eternal, you could see it in 16 or 2016, I suppose. That they were really trying to like narrow that in and make it so that every part of the game feeds another part of the game. And so it's cool to hear that they've finally gotten that down and that they finally like nailed that. Anyway, you were saying? Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's just like that it was the moment that I had was I started playing the game and I was given the shield, and then I looked at the skill tree and I bought my first skill for it. Oh no, I bought my first skill for the rail gun, the nail gun that you get.
The rail gun,
and
nail gun, dude. The rootin' tootin' rail gun. So he says.
I'm like adding extra words to my sentences today. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, dude, we both are. We're in like rare form today, which sucks, because it's like we've pushed this recording around. We've tried, man. We've done our best. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
We're in like opposing mode right now, because normally you're the one who like is very like excited and going about things, and now
usually
I'm
way more
like,
talky than you,
going about
today, and I'm glad for it, man. I'm glad for it. You're saving me here. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, but what I was
now, please, I beg.
Yeah, what I was saying about Doom is that like the first time that I played it and I got that nail gun, I had seen that there was a thing that it's like, yeah, if you throw your shield, you get nails back. So I was like, oh shit,
Ooh.
I don't need to use any other fucking weapon. That was my issue with Doom Eternal. Well, it wasn't my issue. That was the gameplay loop of Doom Eternal, is you shoot through a gun until you get through its magazine, and then you get a new one. Or you use the chainsaw or something. Like, you very rarely rely on one weapon. You're kind of going through it, whole weapon wheel.
You're working the arsenal a little bit. Yeah, that's sort of Doom's thing.
This game does encourage that, but it encourages it in the way that it's like, yeah, you have shield zombies. You can deal with shield zombies by either using the mace or the not the energy weapon, but the rail gun or the chainsaw shield or this or that or this, and all of them have different choices. So you kind of are just given this opportunity to be able to go, okay, I want to be the Doomslayer, like me. I'm the Doomslayer that runs around with the nail gun and the shield, and that's all I do. And I'm fucking tearing shit up with it.
That sounds
and it actually allows it to work. And somebody else, I'm sure somebody else is having a playthrough where they're going for like super shotgun and sword or something. Sure. Like, I think that's genuinely like a very impressive part of the game, is that they've made a series of systems that actually do flow into each other this time really well. And Darkside Phil got to play it too.
Darkside Phil got to play it too. That's lovely. But that's great that they finally managed to strike that balance in a way that like seems satisfactory to you at least. That actually makes me really hyped to play the game now, because like honestly, I played a little bit of 2016, I played a little bit of Eternal. I neither finished either of them. Neither finished either. Dude, not a one.
I tried 2016.
They're hard games to get all the way through.
Oh man, do you want me to be honest about when I played 2016 for the first time?
Yeah, no, sure, take it. Why
sad. Not? I was a wee baby boy of 12 years old, playing it like the year after it came out, and oh man, I was playing it, and at the time I was a very religious kid in the way that I was scared of religion almost. And I saw a pentagram for the first time in the game, and I went, "Oh no!" And I closed the game, and I stopped playing it. I'm not kidding you. I saw demonic imagery, and I couldn't handle it. My brain thought I was going to hell, brother.
That's a silly fucking story.
It's so silly. It's really silly and really sad, and I don't know why I said it on the podcast, but now I did.
Well, now that's out there for the whole world to see. That almost makes this being kind of like sort of a bum episode worth it. But no. I fall off these games sort of hard, man. These Doom games, because they're so like like shoot demon yippee moment for me that like it's hard to like upkeep that energy for an entire campaign on my end, and like so I haven't really been able to get super into them. The newer ones anyway. The older ones I like because I like looking at the levels and exploring too. On top of that, I'm just not as into that on the new ones. And I booted Eternal once via Game Pass a couple years ago to find that it does not run very well on my computer. And I hate to I hate to be at that stage, but I am, unfortunately. I am at a stage with my current PC where it's like, dude, it's showing its age. It's not like it's useless. Yeah. It can still run most of what I do day to day well enough that it's not worth replacing tomorrow or anything. But it's just hit a point now where it's like, it's time to start looking. It's time to start browsing options for like what the upgrade should look like.
Yeah, I remember you were streaming your screen one time, and I had pointed it out because your PC had the like what I call is like the death bell, and that is when you start loading Chrome pages or Firefox pages. And they're loading just a little bit too slow. And you kind of have this moment where it's like, oh man, my gaming PC can't load a YouTube thumbnail within, like, immediate, like it used to. That's so sad. I'm fucked. Because then it all goes downhill from
install. Mine's got more to do with my Windows install being a cloggy bastard than anything else. But that has stuff to do with it too. So like it definitely is kind of an oh shit moment to hit where it's like, man, this thing isn't flying like it used to, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
okay. It's all
exactly.
right. I'm making my peace with it, and I'm like getting the shit together to buy some parts and like get an upgrade going for it. So I won't be out of commission at any point. But man, is it sad to finally have like a well, that's the end of that one, you know, about
Yeah.
something like that.
Especially with a PC that's so new too. Like PCs have. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older and the years are getting shorter, but it feels like PCs are lasting longer. Less
They're
time.
not lasting as long.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm fucking losing it.
Yeah, we're losing you slowly, man. But let's hear it. What's the big idea here?
But like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What did I say again?
Oh my god, are you serious?
I'm serious.
You were saying that PCs aren't
this...
lasting as long recently,
there you go.
dude.
PCs
That's what you were saying.
No.
How the hell? No, I'm not editing that out. That is staying in the show as it is. That is going in the show as it is.
I'll take it.
What in the fuck, dude?
I'll take public shame. Sure.
Public shame. Public shame is what that gets you. Anyway, PCs aren't lasting as long these days. Go. What was your point?
But I don't know. I felt like PCs used to be like, yeah, I have a PC. No, I don't need to upgrade it. I got it 3 years ago. But now it's like, yeah, I got my PC 3 years ago. It's starting to show its age. I don't know.
You gotta think. I thought that about this one too until I thought about it. This PC is younger than our friendship, but that only means this PC is still 5 years old. I still bought this in like December 2020.
Yeah.
Or not even December.
Yeah.
I bought this in like February, like around this time, 2021, actually. So like almost exactly like 4 years. But still, it'll be about 5 years old by the time it's fully like usurped and replaced.
Yeah.
But still, like, I think 5 is a good year. I think 5 is a good amount. But I see what you mean. Computers used to be like cars, man, where it's like, yeah, I bought this one, and sure, it was expensive for what it is, but like, it's gonna last me like a good 7 or 8 years at least, you know, so it'll be okay. And it's like, for gaming PCs, that number gets a little lower, of course, you know, than it does for like office PCs, and goes down to like I'll get 5 or 6 years instead of 7 or 8. But like, it still used to be a good 5 or 6. It feels like the gaps are getting tighter on when you must upgrade if you're upgrading all at once. And you know what? I'm moving over to piecemeal. This time, I'm not even going to buy a new PC. I'm just going to, like, instead of buying a new pre-built like I normally would, I'm just going to buy parts that will fit in my current case and just upgrade it in the case as is. And just get into, like, cycling it and hoping that that's, like, the way of the future, at least for me.
I don't know. I did that for a while, and then the problem is that I've run into a bottleneck now, where it's like, yeah, but if really what needs upgrading is the CPU, but to upgrade the CPU, I would have to get a new motherboard. And if I upgrade the CPU too much, my graphics card is going to get lagged behind. But if I upgrade my graphics card without upgrading the CPU, it's just going to make it run worse, because whenever you put like too good of a part with a bad part, it just makes it all bad. It's just, I don't know. I think you'll have better odds with it just because you're smarter than I am, and you're actually doing AMD CPUs where they actually fucking keep their chipsets for more than like 10 seconds. So I think it'll actually work.
Well, I don't know
you.
much about much. Like, give yourself some credit. I don't know much about much when it comes to like building PCs, because I've never actually like bothered. It's not like a blind spot of like I've tried and failed. No, it's a blind spot of I haven't even like gandered in that direction even once. Just because I'm so accident prone that I wouldn't want to just like break something instantly, like I know I will, you know. I think it's so also... like it's a matter of that in a lot of cases. It's also what you said.
Well, no, I've built 3 or 4 PCs now, so it's like I've had my time. I'm gonna buy my pre-built from Best Buy now, and then I'm gonna plug it in and enjoy my 5070. You know?
Yeah, and I probably would be doing that too. I probably would be doing that too. I just don't have $1,000 to drop on one computer right
Yeah.
now. Still, I feel you. I'm moving to the hard knock life out of necessity, dude. I'm not. I
Yeah.
just can't afford to pay for labor too right now. On top of my parts, and that's a lot of it.
But
I'm
I don't know,
excited
it seems
too.
like
I'm
the
excited
parts
to
are
get
more
into doing it
expensive
that way. The parts are more
without it,
expensive? Of
too.
course they are.
Because, like, that's the thing, is that I was looking at upgrading my current PC and just like, fuck it, I'll just put in a new motherboard, put in a new GPU, do whatever, make it good, and then I won't have to buy a new PC.
Just make it
but I was
good,
looking
you
into
know?
Yeah, I was looking into it. GPUs, like, the PC that I bought was, I think it was, like, $1,600, for, like, a top-end PC.
Right,
But,
right.
well, no, like a mid-end modern PC. So
Yeah,
it's like it's a
there you go.
5070. It's not like it's a 5090.
It's a 5070, yeah.
But yeah. But I was looking at other 5070s and they're like $900 just for it. And it's like, dude, if I'm going to spend another, $150 on the motherboard and another 300 on the GPU or the CPU, and then I'm also going to have to get RAM and shit. Why the fuck? Just give me the fucking case and all. Honestly, at
that point, that's what got me. That's what got me a lot when I was doing pre-builds and shit. That's what got me in the past. Is like the cost of graphics cards can be pretty fucking ridiculous to the point where it's like a whole computer can cost that. I'm not spending that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I everything's getting expensive these days though, so that's less of an issue with that and more of an issue with like everything. But this in particular has been going on a while. I found that it is like just the expensive part now is how it is.
Yeah.
Is like that and the CPU are just where the money is spent, and then the rest of it is like $20, and then there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can pick up cases and shit for fucking nothing, but like. I find that the best way to do it is what you're doing, which is like piecemealing, but you actually have to like pay attention when you're piecemealing.
Yeah, of course.
An upgradable PC. Because my issue is that I piecemealed and then I piecemealed myself into like a corner, and I don't know. It's also the benefit of now I have a second machine too, which is nice. But
Machine 2, holy shit.
Yeah,
what will the second one do?
A sequel?
If you like wheels and computer, you will like more new interesting machines. I don't know. Don't expect me to invent fake new machines from the future for this like stupid 2-second bit. Don't fucking pause like that on me, Jed, please.
I did. I had to let you like sit with it for a moment. Speaking of like inventions from the future, do you think we're ever gonna get the hoverboard from Back to the Future? Do you think that's ever going to fucking happen?
I don't think we are. I don't think that's possible, dude. You would have to put like a layer of fucking like metal under the earth everywhere forever for that to be an option.
Or somehow like I don't know. I guess you could get it with like fans or like some sort of propellant.
There's no way.
But that's
that thing
insane.
Would be so fucking loud. Could you imagine some idiot fucking by on a fucking like hoverboard, dude?
You'd be on a jet engine, dude.
Yeah, it'd be loud as hell. And it would be like those shrill like drone motors too, and you know it. Where like the fans make that shrill fucking ring ass noise the whole way. It would suck.
Yeah.
Like the answer is no, we're never gonna get it, and if we do, it would suck.
Everywhere.
Yeah, all the like, garbage and shit under your feet is getting blown around. Some poor like bastard like, under your feet is getting a perm.
God. Fuck, dude, my eyes! I've got leaves in them.
My eyes, I've got leaves in them. Oh my god!
Some dickhead on his hoverboard just decided to fucking drive past me, and now I'm fucked.
He's just giving me leaves in the eyes, dude. What the fuck? I can't believe
I love
it. Why
that
would he do that?
hit 2015, and they were like, Right, there were hoverboards in 2015. Fuck, somebody has to make those. But what's that thing that's like a Segway without it? Just call that thing a hoverboard. Put it out there. Send it out, brother.
Take a Segway, make the handlebars invisible, and people will think the rest of it is invisible too. Haha, we figured it out. The people, they are so easy, dude. They'll fall for anything.
I've not seen a hoverboard, actually, at all in the past, 5 years. Do they exist anymore?
Children still have them, yeah. They're still, like, a thing that kids have. It's weird.
Huh. I remember they were, like, a rich person
for a weird length.
If you had a hoverboard,
everybody I knew had one when I was a kid. Like, during that period, everybody had one, and, like, even, like, the, like, insanely poor kids, like, had at least, like, a bootleg off-brand one, you know? They had something, man.
Oh, man, I remember my friend and I, were 10 at this point, and we,
That's how bad things had gotten? You were 10? Jesus.
No, I was saying we were 10, as in, at 2015. And
no, I know.
My
anyway,
friend had come across something that was oh, you can have free money if you just use this credit card. It has infinite free money on it. And he fell for it. And we sat there and we went through an Amazon checkout for a fucking hoverboard. And we're like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? We'll see if it works. And we put it in, and then it didn't work, and we just kind of went, aw. And we had a moment where it was like, we're gonna have a hoverboard, dude, and nobody's gonna pay for it.
That's the stupidest shit in the world. That's hilarious.
It is. It's
as far as just a childhood doofus story goes.
Because then you, even if it did work, what the fuck were we gonna do? Our parents are gonna look at us and be like, hey, that thing is $500. Where the fuck did you get it?
Where'd you guys get the fucking money for one of these? Yeah.
Where in the good great Christ did you guys get $400, you 10-year-olds?
That was the thing. I was thinking of that shit when I was a kid. Just because, getting in trouble and not getting in trouble were the number one things in my head for everything when I was a kid. And so I was always just, instantaneously, that was my thought. And it's why is nobody else considering this? Why has nobody thought about how we're going to have to explain this to the higher-ups? You know? Nobody's even for a moment considered the logistics of this situation. And it's I felt like a fucking dumb nerd loser kid. And in retrospect, I kind of was. For that, but I'd still stand by it today. Yeah, what the fuck? In those weird childhood scenarios, what were other children thinking of hypothetically in those scenarios that I wasn't? That would lead them to not be thinking about that. You know.
So here's the funny thing about me is that if I'm doing something and I'm like, man, this is gonna be bad. How do I lie my way out of this now? Come up with an excuse now so that it's solid. And I just couldn't come up with one for
You're
getting
just on
a fucking
the lie
hoverboard.
My way out of it right now train immediately. That's just where your brain goes. Just the how can I best swindle and deceive the people I love to not be mad at me? Is that it? That's where your brain goes immediately, you psycho? Jesus.
Yeah, actually. It's a trauma response.
That's fucking crazy. Okay, well now I feel a little worse about calling you a psycho for it, but that's still insane behavior.
It is. Wait, you don't do that at all? Whenever you're doing something that might be perceived as bad, you don't ever think about, how could I explain this?
Well, I think about how could I explain this, yeah, but, never in, a how do I get out of trouble here kind of way. Just in, sort of just well, if somebody walked in right now, and nobody's going to, but if somebody did, how in the hell would I explain what's going on to them? And a lot of the times I fall down that rabbit hole because, it's just easier to lie, I find, in some cases, in that, in your own head hypothetical. But it's I've never had to bust one out on somebody, and I've never had to do the, oh shit, let me have a lie prepared for when I inevitably get in trouble for this. You know?
Well, because, what the fuck else is gonna happen? like the other option is if you don't plan in this kid's headspace, I should say.
in this
I don't
hypothetical
think
child
this way.
headspace here, yeah.
You're gonna end up in the like, yeah, mom, my computer got a virus, and then I tried to fix it, and I got scared by the porn that showed up on my screen, and I jumped up, and my pants fell down below my legs, dude. Like,
that video
that's where
is
you're gonna end
comedy
up.
gold, dude. You couldn't write
love
that.
video.
You couldn't write that video, and it's hard to show people. And it's like, what's one of your favorite videos on the internet? Oh, it's probably that one where the kid gets caught jacking it. No, like, don't put it that way. Jesus Christ.
I didn't even consider it that way.
But no, it's a funny fucking video because it's like that's exactly the excuse he goes for in the video, and it's like, oh, buddy, oh, pal.
Because it's like, yeah, I think glue was involved into some of it. I think
the box of tissues had a
really
purpose in
elaborate.
this story. It was involved.
Yeah, it was really funny because that's a very like on the fly like but oh man,
I don't even know how you would
classic
seek that video out, but like that one's a classic. Yeah, you could find it pretty easy if you started looking for it. But anyway, what were you saying a minute ago? You were saying something about something.
I think I was just talking about like lying as a kid and
right, lying to your parents.
That's how you're gonna end up.
Right.
If you don't come up with that lie in that moment, you're gonna end up like that. And it's like, I better come up with something fucking convincing, dude.
Oh, so the thought process is I'm not a good enough ad-libber to be able to lie about this in 5 minutes when mom's coming in the room. You know, so I need to have something now. So that in 5 minutes I'm settled and I'm good and
it's already like, baked in there.
This story's been rambling around in my head for 5 minutes. Surely it's good enough for her, you know? Surely that'll do. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh man, I don't know. What was I doing when I was 10? I was
what were you doing that was like deserving of that shit?
Yeah, nothing actually. I was a kid who I was so goddamn. I was such a paranoid person. I realized this is that the reason that I only I only smoked when I was like the responsible adults in my life like handed me the opportunity to do it. Like I asked them and they just gave it to me. I only smoked, I only drank, and I only did marijuana after those like responsible adults allowed me to do those things just to try it. And that's because I was such a fucking paranoid kid that I was like, dude, if I need something, I don't want to be drunk. I can't be drunk. I can't figure this shit out on my own. And if I need somebody, I would like to not have to lie to them about my sobriety.
What and so I never have we been talking about on this episode today? You've been going some this is what happens when I let Jed carry an episode. And I just like let him take us all the way. We've been going some pretty strange places this episode, I have to say. But hey, we've been getting through it. We've been getting through it.
That we have. Episode 50 is quite an episode. It's honestly
it's been well underway so far.
In its own way.
In its own way. Let's get moved on a little bit. Let's get moved on a little bit over to talking about plans for the future and plans for year 2 of Fight About It. Stuff that we have yet to talk about on this show at all. That I would love to talk about right now at the end of this one before we leave you all. And I do mean leave you because the first thing I'd like to announce is that we're gone for 2 weeks after this one, folks. We're going to be out of here from this Sunday until not next Sunday, not the Sunday after, but the Sunday after that. 2 whole weeks. We're going to be taking...
Yep.
We're going to be taking a full 2 weeks off from the show. We're going to be prepping up a bunch of shit going into year 2, and it's going to be great. Jed, do you want to talk to him a little bit about some of the stuff that we're going to be prepping, like our background? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
That was your idea?
We're going to have a new background. It's going to be real gorgeous. I won't talk too much about it just because you'll see it, hopefully, on the next episode of Fight About It. But we're hoping to get some really nice things going on, an actual proper set going, so it'll be an actual room back there instead of just a scrolling background. We've got that lined up, and content-wise, if you are lacking on your fight about it in those 2 weeks, we did consider you. And for you,
don't worry, we've
for
thought
those
about
2
you,
weeks,
friend. We've cooked you up. We've got you covered for that 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
For that 2 weeks, we've got something beautiful for you. I'm sorry, you stole it from me, and I wanted it back. Damn it, because this is a big reveal. We've thought about you, and we've considered you, and we've prepped 10 pre-show episodes of Fight About It that are all 30 minutes each, recorded ahead of each recording of Fight About It for the last 10 episodes. 10 pre-show episodes of the show, all ready for you and releasing as these 2 weeks progress, so that you have a steady stream of new-ish Fight About It, new to you, Fight About It content coming your way throughout those 2 weeks, and you have something cool incentivized over on our Patreon page. Jed, you want to talk about the Patreon page? You want to talk about that?
So, as of the start of year 2, we have a Patreon page, and that means that we have 2 tiers. We've got our SPAT tier, which is our $1 tier, which will give you access to our special Discord that we have for the community members who decide to pay, who we appreciate. And we're going to start adding a shout-out list right at the end of the episode while we're, ending the episode in the fade-out. So you'll have your name in the credits.
Just something there at the end with the ending music and whatnot to say thank you for supporting the show and all of that.
The $5 fight tier, that's where you'll also get our pre-show episodes along with those 2. And don't worry, as we think of more things and do more things, we're gonna add more to the Patreon.
With the $5 tier you get the pre-show as well, and that one's pretty spiffy. So if you want to support us, you can go over our Patreon. You can support us there now, and you can support this show and help us get through the, frankly, the absolute nightmare that it can be to get this show out. I don't mean to exaggerate. I don't mean to be ridiculous, but it can honestly be the toughest thing in the world just to get this show out every week. I don't know. I've never had a piece of content give me nearly as much trouble as this one. So your support would always be appreciated and will be appreciated going into year 2. And that was our little stop and have a Patreon moment. I thought it would carry us to the end of the episode. I really did. I didn't mean to interrupt your childhood Jed does weird stuff as a kid stories about how you were a pathological liar who would prep excuses ahead of time.
Pathological liar.
That's pathological, dude. That's downright systematic, dude. I don't know what to tell you. That's deep.
It was only for the stupid shit too. That's the funny thing. It wasn't ever about anything serious. It was always about fuck, what if I get in trouble for playing Lego Star Wars at 3 a.m? How the fuck do I explain the fact that the Xbox
this game makes a noise, dude? That was such a unique one of just some games make a noise when you close the system and others do not. And so this is a matter of oh shit. But you just swing the volume knob first, and there you go. That was always the trick. That was always the trick. I guess we get to just sit here and bullshit about this for a couple minutes now before the end of the episode.
I guess so. You put us in a weird
water ran out. Yeah,
your water ran out.
My water ran out half an hour ago, and I've been trying to get more, but I can't. We're too late in now. We've been too late in for me to get water.
Trying to get more makes it sound like you've been sitting in your chair, vaguely reaching your arm out in the direction of the water, please, to me, for the past, 10 minutes.
Oh my god, no, but it's been 20-ish minutes of oh, should I grab a water? Do you think Jed's gonna be talking long enough? I don't know. It's probably not worth it. I'll just sit here and take it. But no, oh man, what a flimsy one. What a flimsy one to end on here. Not that I mind saying that even, because oh boy, it's been kind of an iffy episode. It's been sort of up and down. But I feel it's sort of emblematic of the year we've had here, of the sort of back and forth we've had, and the trials, the tribulations. Oh, let us not forget the tribulations, Jed. The tribulations are something to behold. Quite a few tribulations.
Yeah. And if you want a good final episode as a last hurrah. The last one that we had was a very good, like, feel good about the last year fight about it. This episode's kind of
Yeah, go watch that one. Go watch that one. This one's kind of just bullshitting at the end here. Is like, let's just enjoy our final one and make it sort of a no pressure, low stakes, enjoy yourself sort of fight about it. And I think we've done a pretty good job of doing that, and I can move on to doing a pretty good job of doing this outro. So I hope you've enjoyed our program for the evening, or the afternoon, or the morning, or whenever you like to watch Fight About It. But traditionally, Fight About It is to be consumed at Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever the standard may be, standard or daylight. Live over on YouTube, kinda, as a premiere where you can interact with other fans of the show, and sometimes us. Occasionally we pull through for those, and I might make a special effort to be there for 50, who knows. And then they're up on Spotify at the exact same time, and they're not a premiere there, but they are around on both platforms from that point forward, just as a viewable, watchable show on demand anytime. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's Fight About It. I hope you've enjoyed our hypotheticals episode, where we've been sort of sluggish on the first half. I'm sorry to present. If I could go back and just do a half a show again, man. Oh boy.
Yeah.
But this back half has been pretty good, and I think I've had a pretty good show here. What do you think, Jed? What do you think about our show performance today?
This shit sucked!
Yeah, I agree. Let's get the fuck out of here. God, goodbye.
Bye. See you in year 2.
Oh my god, this shit really does suck though, dude. Holy fuck.
Really did suck.